knowing Renegade.
Cram and Renegade, you want to see them duke it out, right? Like, you pull up the punches, but it's gonna be
the best of them now have to just do this, press a couple of buttons for about 5 minutes before things actually happen.
Yeah.
Welcome to game one. I hate to start the game on such a sour note. This is actually quite the matchup. Both teams struggling to stay in contention and make it into the playoffs for the 10th season of MPL. It's TNC versus NXPE. Oh, quick skirmish in mid.
Right away on to the pokes by Yalays and Mycophobia. But going back to your note early on, one thing that we're also seeing maybe for Renegade, he wants to adapt on how the team will perfectly work for this dynamic.
And one thing that the next play should be watching out for is the speed of the Thames. This is one of the fastest, if not the fastest jungler that we have right now. As you are seeing, he already have cleared out 2 of his jungle creeps.
What?
Did he got stolen?
Nope.
No.
Kaizen got it. Kaizen got it.
Wow.
So you saw SDZYZ, his speed of jungling is even further amplified by the fact that Escalera can just plant out the traps. So next play, Evo's answer is to utilize the Eve as well to help out Kaizen for a little bit. That was a very scary move coming out from next play, but at least they do weather the storm. TNC's potential invasion with the Thams.
They didn't get burned.
Yep.
No,
We're
not yet.
so close. And it's
close.
just now that SD picked up his ult. If he had it earlier, whoa, we would be looking at a different story here for Kaizen. Now Cram pulling him away. Oh, this did buy quite the level gap. I mean, that much XP.
Yeah, and we're seeing actually a slow pace game even for the gold laners as well, for Yasuo and Donut. So mainly they're mostly focusing on the objectives for next play Evos.
Because what happens is if you help your jungler take the buff, if you're not a roamer, you will take away half of the EXP from there. And what TNC did, using the traps, you're not in the range. Oh my! Scratch what I just said. It didn't matter in the end. The EXP gap is not a problem for Kaizen.
Throwing back to the panel. Our good friends on the couch, Santi and Nice, did say the hold up.
And it's still going for the trade. But the first blood still TNC gets that. We were just talking about Kaizen.
Yeah.
Earlier.
What a punish on the Hitman, but no, again, that move that Kaizen did, the turtle steal, reminiscent of one John Paul Salonga.
Yeah.
He does that a lot.
The inspiration. We're just seeing how Kaizen is easily adapting on how next play Evos works around the map here.
The next play way.
The next play way, on how controlling the map. One thing they're trying to give a solution for is the macro control against TNC. That's the suplex followed by Pentinks. That's going to be 2. Going for the real manipulation, but still onto the counter. It's SDZYZ going for Kaizen, but X-Play Evo still surviving the fight. Kaizen takes the kill, but Escalera trades for 1. But one thing or another, the damage connecting to Donut and Yelly Hayes with a retreat back, and TNC for that skirmish.
Escalera is not done just yet. Mycophobia blocks him off. What a sick combo you saw with Edith suplex into the arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no waking up from that. Fortunately, Mycophobia is a tank naturally, so it's able to at least still land the Fatal Links, which aided the next play to get 1 kill. Very close for Kaizen as well as SDZYZ. Fortunately for the next play Evo's fans, it was Kaizen who took the first kill before he was taken out. However, this still is a problem for next play, as TNC is now leading by 1,000 gold, or 1.6k is actually a lot in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yep, up top, not much of a problem. If anything, it's Renegade who's feeling a little more frisky. Again, you saw how deep he was cutting the lane.
Yeah.
So that may have been a situation of once bitten, twice shy. He may not be doing such risky maneuvers in the next few minutes of this game. Speaking of which, this gives us a few moments to digest exactly what's going on.
Yep.
One thing I did notice in that relatively unfortunate engagement in the purple side of next play Evos' jungle, Mycophobia's Fatal Links may have actually caused them a little more trouble than it was supposed to, because it did put SDZYZ closer to the softer targets.
Yeah, and one thing that he was trying to target of Kaizen.
Yeah, and of course with the retractable sights coming out from the time, you can pull in too. Yeah,
A knock.
I do agree with you.
Follow-up, yeah.
Fortunately for next play Evos though, we can see Kaizen really popping up. He did die once, but he won the duel anyways.
Got away with it.
He got away with it for sure. And Mycophobia is still proving to be really good at these setups, but I have to be more careful now. No, we saw the Eve and for even Mycophobia. I mean, I think that they have to kind of improve their coordination in a way that all of these combos, it should be so natural and instant, because half a second that you spend not dealing the damage to a Fatal Link's target is a lot in the early stages of the game.
Yeah.
No, that's what makes Next Play Evos' approach a little more fragile. Because they're more snap, they're more burst. It has to happen right here, right now, or else the swing back from TNC is so punishing.
Yes, you really described it so on point as you saw in the previous match. However, for we can see that for Next Play Evos, there's a lot of potential in the latter portions of the game. I still feel that the Irithel trumps the Beatrix in the late game when the Wind of Nature versus Wind of Nature battle happens. But in the early stages, you already can see Edith plus the Selena. It's a very scary combo. You don't want to be checking the bushes like what Mycophobia did in the previous skirmish.
Talking about bursts and unlimited suplex and ejectors right at you.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you're right to say it's quite infinite. Because what, 5-6 seconds again,
That's right, that's
again,
Repeat.
again. Compared to Next Play Evos, who's sitting on heavy crossbow, click it off, you're done. Real world manipulation, you're done. Fatal Links, you're done.
Yeah.
If anything, they're only really relying on Kaizen and Renegade to continue fighting, and that's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Those are blunt objects.
Yeah,
I mean, the Paquito less so, but there's not much Renegade can do.
Yeah, and one thing also they've seen on how TNC is reading the skill sets of Next Play Evos right now is they're trying to, well, outplay or sustain or who gets to release the ultimates or skills first, because they could easily punish Next Play on how they rotate. But now TNC gets a good view on taking the turtle.
All right, no tricks from Kaizen here.
No, not yet.
Okay. It's quite a sustainable lead that TNC was able to get. I imagine that they will try to stretch this come the second turtle of the game. Oh, the third turtle, I mean. As they have control early on. Renegade prioritizing the dominant size. That is the natural item that you get when you're facing the eternal battle between like Esmeralda and Uranus. I would reckon that Cam will do the same. But this time, Yelly Hayes will pick up the Enchanted Talisman. I think that this will be a slower mid-game that will only erupt when there's either an initiation coming out from TNC or from the Fatal Links of Mycophobia.
Boiling, it's boiling.
I can feel it. I can feel the kettle whistling right now. Kaizen gets rid of 2 knockoffs here. One thing that they're trying to consider, but Cram here is trying to target one. Kaizen being diverted out to attack, but it's Donut trying to get damage right into Cram. But still, TNC manages to get in with Mycophobia. Fatal Links onto 2. But TNC right now receiving damage from Donut, going to be backing away. But Yasuo can't do anything that much. Easily with the counters.
I love it. Yasuo screaming, "Get out of my backyard!" No, this is my boomstick. He was holding onto the shotgun. I love it.
I love the idea though for Next Play Evos. As you saw, they completely wrapped around with TNC instead of like relying on the Fatal Links. As Renegade really messes up with the purple buff and takes it away from TNC.
Rene Steel with the buff.
Oh yeah.
Just cutting down lanes and just giving vision. He's doing 2 things for Next Play Evos right now.
From Hitman to Heistman.
Yeah. Exactly.
How did he do that? That's such a very specific way to do things. He saved the Ionic Edge.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
if we're talking about next play, that may be the Rene way.
Yeah, the Rene way.
Yeah.
He timed the duration of the Ionic Edge stacks as well as the cooldown of the stacks, because there's a little bit, a very small window when you can actually keep the stack still while holding onto your Ionic Edge.
So that's how he used this less mechanically intricate hero in his own way.
Something new. Something new for Renegade, but still, Next Play Evos respecting, not getting into the contest of the turtle though, but with the trade down bottom, it's the turret. Renegade still trying to divert SDZYZ from going back for enforcement. But Mycophobia gets stunned here by 2. Ejected state gonna be used for a retreat back. But Kaizen is still doing with the aid with the pushes down bottom.
I'm loving this. Fellas, we kind of set up how this might be a more macro-focused Next Play Evos. They traded Turtle for 2 turrets, bro.
Yeah.
Still going for the possible comeback here, but looking at the gap here.
And they shrank it.
Yeah. Easily the gold right there, just almost 800. But looking at one thing, I've seen Yasuo use the sniper onto Donut, also cost him almost half HP.
Yeah. And now he's getting there. He has got the Blade of Despair for the Matrix. Yasuo is it's going to be really scary in the upcoming minutes. I think that they gave him some of the farm in the mid lane.
Things going down deep. The side of Next Play Evos, that was a concealed counter for TNC. That's the snipe, missing out. Mycophobia, it's still a retreat for TNC.
Oh, they burned out the sprint for Donut. Renjing just goes back to controlling the lanes. The TNC, they kind of require a lot of heroes in their bubble if they want to take out Next Play Evos, which kind of means that they have to call Crown from time to time into the fight. Gonna be a lack of, there will be issues for TNC's damage output in the late game, but they will not be having any problems at all with their crowd control. Let's see, like the Earth Splitter, I think, or Earth Shatter from Benthing, as well as the onward suplex that we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And obviously in the latter portions of the game, Selena's arrows will be more spammable.
Yeah, and also with the burst though, but Mycophobia uses the flicker from the ejected state. Here comes the counter. Escalera gets down one. It's Kaizen, but Cram coming from the back lines, but still going to be Donut, the primary target of TNC, jumping down with the falling star mode. It's still going to be Donut. Cram takes the kill, and a trade as well for Yell Hayes, making it a double for Next Play Evos, but still TNC tries to pull out one. Renegade is still sustaining the fight. Still Next Play Evos, that's a 2-for-2 trade. That action.
Definitely TNC the happier team in that, as they took out Donut. They did lose 2 other members, but the fact that the value of the kills that they got in that fight, after the fact that there weren't any more battle spells that are available for Next Play Evos apart from Renegade's sprint, makes it even a more rewarding fight for them.
Yeah. One thing also, Mycophobia missed or used the flicker though, trying to initiate under the turret of TNC.
If you were Next Play, you were already happy that Yasuo had to commit the flicker. Afterwards, I think that you should have backed down if you're Next Play Evos, because you already burned out an important battle spell. But instead, they obliged to the fight, and TNC punished them for it.
And this is what we're talking about. It's a lot more all-in for Next Play Evos. They had to make a decision. Do we go in? Do we spend this? Or do we let it go? They made the call, oh, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. And somewhere, somehow, it was half-hearted because, again, TNC, their CC is so good. So you can't blame Next Play Evos for some of the members to go, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. And now that's led to TNC starting this Lord dance.
Yeah, it's still a respect for Next Play Evos, trying to look at the possibilities on how they could be countered. But one thing they're trying to look out here is maybe to contest this Lord. They're having trouble taking the second turtles though, second and third turtles. So probably now they would want to have secure this objective. Suplex. That's in for Ben Things, going on half health. But here comes Mycophobia from the ejected state plus conceal. Will he get 2? But the damage, he gets only 1. But the counter is the real manipulation from the side of Yelly Hayes. But still Next Play Evo still not getting 1. It's still exchange fire for the trades. They're still trying to burn out TNC from this fight.
Again, nature of the beast. They had to spend their ults, and again, they weren't layered the right way. So that's what led to just a skirmish.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is really very tough for Next Play Evos, as they wanted to go for the initiate, and Mycophobia really tried so hard to get into position, but TNC already holding their ground. And not only that, TNC are actually winning the macro battle, as they naturally took out top lane. Or will they? I think they will. Yes, they will. And this is a result of Renegade not controlling that lane.
Being bursted down by Yasuo onto the death bush. Those were 3 members of TNC. Just controlling the map, and takes 1 for the setup of this Lord.
It's overkill.
Yeah.
Could have honestly been Yasuo and someone else. It doesn't matter. Even if you're Uranus, he had the Wesker, but wait!
He gets down 1, but the setup coming in from Yelly Hayes would be enough. But still, Cram is going to get in with the front lines on the side of Next Play Evos. Still a back away, but the Lord has been taken by TNC.
TNC will be very happy about the result. They get the turtle. They get the Lord. They get a turret in the middle after taking out the top lane turret. And they still have plenty of firepower with this Lord marching up top. And not only that, their battle spells are ready. You have Yasuo with the flicker. In just a moment, Bentix will be back to the fight with the flicker himself, and then Cram with his own sprint. It was kind of a free push for TNT, or at least they forced out the holy defense passive of the turrets.
Yeah, so we're looking at top lane being the main weak point for NXPE EVOS. They have to start defending that, leaving Renegade there to push the lane, make sure lane equilibrium is good. But where do they find the team fight? That's what I'm asking here. That's what I'm looking at, because the uptime for TNC is just so damn high. They can take fights left and right, even if, let's say, they spend the suplex, the ult on the transform on the Edith. Even if Yasuo just fails a shotgun to the face, that's okay. They can bide their time. They can weave in and out.
Yeah,
That's right.
and also, they keep on diverting Renegade, just put it in one lane. And one thing that NXPE needs right now is the defense or even the sustain, because of the damage that you were trying to say here, Leo and Wolf. Because right now, just want to keep on pushing down bottom, but giving NXPLAY EVOS a lot of attention, a lot of diversion on how to control the map.
Man, with the with the economic lead that TNC had right now, it's gonna be very difficult, because the blade armor is already available for the Esmeralda. Mycophobia almost spotted out. Well, he was spotted out. He had to back down, but that was a promising position coming out from Mycophobia. Unfortunately, NXPLAY EVOS couldn't find the opening.
Slowly but surely, you know what this about 5k gold is looking at for me?
Yeah.
It's one hero. What it feels like for NXPLAY EVOS is it's one hero. It's one man on the board that TNC can freely use, whether it be in the form of more damage or just leaving traps. Those traps are lethal. Those traps are more than just information. It actually leads to better positioning so that TNC can freely do what they want. It's this last tier 2 in mid that NXPLAY EVOS has to hold on to before they can even start thinking, you know what, let's not even contest these lords. Because this is their last contestable lord.
Yeah, they need to respect the fact that the damage out of TNC right now is so high that they can't risk getting 2 plays at once. Because right now we're seeing how TNC balancing this is they're trying to bait in NXPLAY EVOS to get this objective. But if they can be smart enough to attempt the backlines, because TNC right now, they have the vision, they have the burst, they have the follow-up. So one thing that NXPLAY can maybe utilize on is to save onto these ultimates while they can, because that's their only way of getting back on the track.
Something tells me if this is a lord that goes to TNC for free, it's a base defense for NXPLAY.
Yeah. So looking at that possibility.
Gonna be down. Now, this time Renegade is going to control the other lane, or the opposing lane from the Lord, which is natural. Gonna be able to push that. I wonder if he's gonna stay. No, he decides he wants to go and help his teammates out. Positions himself in mid.
Oh, Mycophobia is on the ejected state. Will he get one? Will he get one? But Yasuo secures the Lord. It's going to be a breakout right now for a fight, but Cram is going up against 4 against NXPLAY EVOS, targeting down Donut. There's no damage right now for NXPLAY EVOS, but still they're going to go back and retreat, but it's TNC still chasing down 3 members of NXPLAY EVOS. That's a 2 trade plus the Lord.
Oh man, that disaster for NXPLAY EVOS. They try to go for the cheeky play and try to go and rush towards Yasuo. The problem with those kind of strategies is that if you fail horribly, your marksman is going to be left open. Because as you imagine this, imagine like 4 men of your team like going for the backlines of the opposing team.
Yeah.
At a certain point, if you're not able to find the jump onto the enemy backliner, your own backliner will be exposed. And that's exactly what happened with Donut. They left him open and everybody got a piece of that donut through the box of NXPLAY EVOS.
Yeah, talking about a dozen donuts, right?
Exactly.
Original glazed.
Yellow haste.
Yeah. Completely being sweet.
Speaking of Yellow Haze, he's deathless so far.
Mycophobia, another casualty. That's immortality
That's
being used in the side of Mycophobia, but SDZYZ is not letting him go back to the base. Right now, TNC's eyeing on taking this turn.
Yeah, young Daniel Baltaanon is still deathless.
Yeah.
So that is him using his space, using the zoning, and of course, the kit of this battle mage, the Eve. With that being said, a base defense is still very much possible. There's very few purifies from TNC, and none at all actually. There's very little cleanse that they can use on demand. So with that being said, NXPE, yes, this is dire. Yes, this is bad. They're down about 9k. It's looking like it's inevitable, but maybe one more turnaround. One front to back.
Yeah, I love that we're talking about the comeback potential of NXPLAY EVOS right now. Mycophobia, the fatal links of Mycophobia are the most important thing that he can save on. Even this flicker, one miracle set, Atlas can turn things around, even on the late game, but it requires so much timing and not getting that mistake again on letting Donut out in the open.
It's possible that even if you hit it on Ben Things or Cram, if you can damage them, that could do it.
Yeah. That is definitely true. You can't give up on trying to control Yasuo because it kind of feels like Yasuo is just on fire with his positioning.
Yeah.
And the rest of the game is just controlling and saving him all the time.
But even on his deathless Renegade jumps again, right on 2-3. But there's a follow-up again for NXPE EVOS, but Cram is going to go and divert the attention again. Who's going to be the targeting for NXPE EVOS? Not sustaining the fight. Mycophobia is down, and TNC is on fire. Another misposition, but Mycophobia again for NXPE EVOS.
The second time NXPE EVOS tried to do that.
Man, how would NXPE EVOS should respect the push plays coming out from TNC. At minute 4, they already saw the potential of that onward play. And it kind of felt like they're not learning their lessons out of those plays. I mean, surely you can argue that it was Renegade who was caught off. But after already being initiated upon, instead of trying to back out and out-sustain TNC, they obliged to the fight, which gave another death to Mycophobia.
And
NXPE is just, I don't know if they're anxious or are they in this false sense of knowing that they have the damage but they actually don't.
Yeah, but one thing also, they're trying to gain control of the vision as well. But one thing that TNC did back there is they forced out the ultimate of Mycophobia, forcing Min to react, to use the ultimate plus the flicker, leaving NXPE no choice but to fight back.
And they fight back here.
Yeah, but this will be a question for the Neon Tigers, but the base is getting damaged right here. But now the Lord being punished down by NXPE EVOS. Renegade backline being on the penetration and the sustain here of our Uranus. Renegade still forcing out TNC to not get into base.
The Hitman has taken so much.
Yeah.
It's a miracle he's alive. Yeli is pushing them back.
Yasuo leaving out the gap from that rearward manipulation. But still, look at that regen right back on.
Close call. That's a Has Claws doing work.
Yeah. Has Claws doing the magic and the damage. What will be the answer? Mycophobia gets down only Ben Things. 2-man knockup, but still, NXPE was targeting 1, but 2 members. Yasuo secures the kill. There's no more tank for NXPE to attack back. Yasuo makes a double and a follow-up as well. Donut taking heavy damages. And
Ben
right
Things.
now, Yeli Hayes, the last man standing, connecting an arrow from Escalera, and TNC is saying, let's light up the fire. It's game number 1.
What a wonderful arrow. Did you see that? The last one. But before that fight erupted, it was actually an arrow as well that hit Hazen, which after the fatal links coming out from Mycophobia, disrupted further damage coming out from NXPE EVOS. So what happened was, Mycophobia initiates, catches Bentings, and then Esmeralda goes in front of Donut. Donut cannot do anything because of the blade armor. And then, without the opportunity for Hazen to deal the damage because he was stunned, there was nothing that